Your kid acting up in school doesn't always mean they need to do better. Sometimes it means you do. And The Breakfast Club might be the most honest movie about that nobody's ready to admit. And as soon as the film starts, we see a David Bowie quote from his song Changes. This sets the tone of the entire film, and these children that you spit on, as they try to change their worlds, are immune to your consultations. They are quite aware of what they're going through. And it kicks off The Breakfast Club for a reason. You see, this movie isn't about rebellion. It's about awareness. It's about kids growing up way faster than they should because the adults refuse to slow down and listen. Bowie's telling us these teens aren't lost. They're just exhausted from trying to exist in a world that lectures them more than it loves them. They don't need your consultations, they need your compassion. Now, the character arc in this film, simply amazing. We have Claire, the princess, picture perfect on the outside, but on the inside, she's torn between two parents who use her like a trophy in a game of tug-of-war. They gave her gifts but not guidance. She wears lip gloss and loneliness at the same time. Her rebellion? Popularity, little white lies, and shopping bags full of silent pain. We got Brian, the brain. He's every kid who's told get straight A's or else. This dude even brought a flare gun to school because one bad grade made him feel like a failure, but not to his classmates, to his parents. He wasn't raised, he was programmed. No room for mistakes, no margin for humanity. We got the athlete Andrew. His dad didn't want a son, he wanted a freaking soldier. So he shoved another kid in humiliation to prove he was tough. But all he really wanted to do was cry, to be seen as more than a jersey, to be enough without having to win all the time. We got the basket case Allison. She ain't even get sent to detention. She chose to be there because no one at home noticed her enough to ask where she was. She speaks and scribbles in silence. And when she's acting weird, that's just how abandonment sounds. And last but not least, the criminal, my boy Bender. See, he's loud, hostile, and sarcastic, but he's not even trying to be tough. He's trying to survive. He shows the cigarette burn from his dad like it's some sort of badge. His anger is armor, and his insults are shield. He's not even scary, he's scared. And here's the real twist, y'all. Every single one of these kids, they're reflections of their parents' choices, their trauma, their dysfunction, their denial. And yet most adults would see this film and be like, man, these kids need to get it together. But not once ask, what am I doing that's hurting my child? What am I projecting onto them? What are they carrying that I refuse to unpack? The way I grew up, y'all, if the school called home, it wasn't like, are you okay? It was, you know you're getting your ass whooped, right? But what if we flipped that? What if parents started with presence, with curiosity instead of criticism? Dear Mr. Vernon, we accept the fact that we had to sacrifice a whole Saturday in detention for whatever it was that we did wrong. But we think you're crazy to make us write an essay telling you who we think we are. You see us as you want to see us, in the simplest terms and the most convenient definition. Whew, that's not just a letter. That's a rebellion. That's identity claiming itself. And the ending, each one of us is a brain, an athlete, a basket case, a princess, and a criminal. See, they didn't just learn about each other. They saw themselves reflected in one another because we're never just one thing. We're layers. We're lived experiences. We're hurt trying to heal. And look, man, I gotta give John Hughes his flowers. This man gave us 16 Candles, Ferris Bueller's Days Off, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Weird Science, Pretty in Pink, Uncle Buck, and my favorite, Home Alone. And of course, this film right here, The Breakfast Club. 5 characters, 1 room. No action, no CGI, just conversation. That's straight up narrative precision. And as a brand strategist and storyteller, I see it. This was story architecture at its best. Tight, intimate, and bold. He knew that the biggest explosions don't just happen on the battlefield, they happen inside of teenagers. Eat my shorts. That was legendary. Allison making it snow with her dandruff. Ugh, gross, but genius. The dance scene, for a moment, that was pure freedom. And that final letter, well, that's a TED Talk with a middle finger. And I know, some folks think the film is boring. Nah, you just ain't ready to sit with your own reflection yet. And that's okay. Look, y'all, they didn't fix their lives. Their parents didn't change overnight. But for one Saturday, they weren't alone. They were no longer just labels. They were complex, flawed, beautiful. And maybe that's the real lesson here. Sometimes you don't need a solution. You just need someone to sit with you in the silence and say, I see you. I am the Nostalgia King. It's been fun, and I will leave you with this. When is the last time that you felt seen? Peace.